This bass line sounds like the theme song for when a cartoon germ enters a room. So like this little cartoon germ that's illustrated kind of like tumbles into the room. Yes.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Audiophiles, you bugger. My name's John. His name's Andy. Woke up in my clothes again this morning. I don't know exactly where I am. I should heed my doctor's warning. He does the best of me he can. More on that later. But first, we have something to listen to, provided by Brother Andy. What do you have in store for us today?
I have an artist by the name of Thundercat and a track by him called Them Changes. Any of that
Okay.
sound familiar to you at all?
I seem to remember we had some sort of discussion about cartoons and Thundercats in plural, and you said about Thundercat singular,
Yeah.
and then in stupid crush on She-Ra. And
That's not true. You're taking creative liberty there.
big time. You showed me your tattoo.
I'm gonna have a PJ Harvey tattooed over top of that in short order. Believe me. But yes, Thundercat.
PJ Harvey with ears and a tail.
Yes. Oh God, the best of both worlds. Yes.
So I remember you mentioning this artist, but that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
Okay, cool. Well, I'd really be interested to hear what you have to say about Mr. Thundercats and this track, Them Changes. So please go off and give it a listen and come back and let me know what you make of it, buddy.
The really nice star. Thumbnail reminds me of Grover Washington Jr., Mr. Magic, kind of with a bit of like funkadelic. That's the sort of thing they would do. Yeah, funny. It was good. Really nice start. That beat's really familiar. I wonder if it's sampled. It's really familiar. It'll drop in a minute. That sort of affected bass. Sounds great. It sounds like someone has got a massive pair of trousers, tied both of the bottoms, braces, and then fill their trousers with water, and then they're trying to waddle around. That's what it sounds like. It's cool. It's a great start.
Nobody move, there's blood on the floor, and I can't find my heart. Where did it go? Did I leave it in the cold? So please give it back, 'cause it's not yours to take. It must have fell when I lost my mind. Deep in the cup,
Sweet piano.
Somebody help, 'cause I...
It's a short song. We're going back. Really nice piano coming in there. That vocal when he went up reminded me, is it thinking like Earth, Wind and Fire? Sort of Philip Bailey. Let's go back a wee bit.
Leave it in the cold. So supposed to feel when I'm sitting here knowing this ain't real? Why in the world would I give my heart to you just to watch you throw it in the trash? I've been juggling so long, I don't think I can hold on. Where were you when I needed you the most? Now I'm sitting.
Let's stop because we're running out of time. I'm really enjoying this. So I liked it sort of broke down into whatever you want to call it, that bridgy part, I guess, with the ooze. There was like touches of horns in there as well, like really faintly. Comes back in and that guitar is like it's almost making like 1970s robot noises. Thinking of the little guy, what's he called from Buck Rogers? Biddy. Yeah, really nice. And again, some more harmonies there. Beautiful. It's sounding so 70s. It's definitely sounding like Earth, Wind and Fire. Getting the Isley Brothers as well. Don't know why. Yeah, this is cool.
Sitting here with the black hole in my chest, a heartless, broken mess.
The faint horns there on the fade out. Jeez. It's starting to fade now. Okay, well that was brief. It felt even shorter than 3 minutes. Wow. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. I had a lovely feel to it. A bit sort of off kilter. I got some of the words, scramble them down, but that first bit, nobody move, there's blood on the floor, and I can't find my heart. Yeah, it's got that mixture of almost a bit of a spirit of like funkadelic to it. It's clearly a bit fucking batshit, yeah, but in a good way. Yeah, this is really, really nice. Great bass, gorgeous piano, and all the other stuff that was going on, like guitar, faint horns, vocals great. Yeah, definitely Philip Bailey. Harmonies, yeah, what's not to like? This was superb. Real fun as well. Right, we need to investigate further. So let's go back and grill Andy.
All right, Lion-O, what did you make of Thundercat?
Okay, so yeah, interesting start. Firstly, the thumbnail. I presume that thumbnail is the album cover.
Yes, it is.
It strongly reminds me of another album.
As well as good.
Oh, Grover Washington Jr., Mr. Magic. That one there. And it's kind of like that combined with I like funkadelic, sort of almost maggot doodah. It's got that real strong sense of funkadelic sensibilities in it. I get a strong sense of humor from this straight away, rightly or wrongly. But anyway, song starts and a familiar beat kicks in. I'm thinking it's a sample. It's just I'm scratching my head, but there's no way I'm ever going to get it. But it does sound like I've heard that before. The bass sounds like someone is wearing a pair of waders with big braces. I think and they filled up for some unknown reason. They filled these waders with water, and then they're trying to waddle around the high street, negotiating the oncoming pedestrians. Other liquids are available. Custard would be best. I wish I thought of that first. Anyway, it's immense fun. It really is. And then we get this first line. Nobody move. There's blood on the floor, and I can't find my heart. Now, because I already got this sense of humor, on display, my mind firstly goes to like a spoof police procedural, like they're in a crime scene. Nobody move. There's blood on the floor. It's kind of like Naked Gun, police squad,
Yeah.
or Touch of Cloth. And I'm sure I've told you this before, but it's got one of my all-time favorite jokes in. They're at a crime scene, and to get to the crime scene, they have to go through the tape. But there's tape like every 3 feet, and it's at different angles, and then again in this, and there's lots of jokes. It's a bit like sort of Police Squad or Airplane. There's a joke like every 3 seconds,
Yeah.
and then he goes to his assistant, Jack Clough, the main protagonist. He goes, "Any prints?" And the guy goes, "Just love Sexy in Purple Rain." Fucking love that joke. Anyway, it's not that. Of course, it's a rather entertaining way of illustrating heartbreak. The vocals have a really nice dash of the 70s about them. And with the bass and the keyboard line, there's one word that sums this all up, which is strolling. It really has got this strolling feel to it. It's great. Then this rolling piano joins that fits so well. And just as I'm thinking, oh, nice piano, this elevates the song, the singer then goes on a really brief run of higher notes, something about drowning in that's what I got, which really stopped me, and I had to take it back. It reminds me of Earth, Wind and Fire, particularly Mr. Philip Bailey vocals. He's an easy lover. Lovely stuff, really, really nice. So we get this nobody move, and then we go into this interlude of ooze. That means the plural of ooh, not sort of gungy stuff. Lots of interesting sounds that I struggled to take in, but there was definitely like ambient chatter, almost like a street, but I actually got it was like a park because you got bird song. And then it was either wind or traffic noises, but I think it's like wind in the trees. And there was some faint horn work as well, which was far too fucking faint for my liking. But anyway, it was a little oddity of dream time, perhaps. And then we're back into our stroll. And I hear the line something about sitting here knowing this ain't real, which makes me wonder if that interlude was actually a moment of clarity. And all this musical promenade is his own way of working or pushing through the situation in his head and in his heart. I don't know, just a thought. This verse now is a lot more Philip Bailey centric vocal wise, and I'm really loving it. It's gone higher and stayed high. The guitar, I think it's the guitar, is making these sort of 1970s computer stroke robot noises that kind of remind me of the little fella from Buck Rogers that I struggled to remember, and it's just come to me. Twicky was his name, for fuck's sake. Billy. And then just it continues on in that fashion again, and then just as some really interesting horns kick in, it fades out, which is a shame. And that bit reminded me of like almost every JJ Cale song on his Naturally album, that just as it gets interesting, it just fades out. It's quite short, this song. It could have easily been longer, but I'm not one to say that I wanted 20 or 30 seconds more. I leave that to other people. This is firmly rooted in the 1970s. I was getting Earth, Wind and Fire. I was getting Isley Brothers. I was getting like funkadelic sensibilities, many more as well. I could probably, if I thought about it, but it was a lot of fun. It was slightly off kilter, which gave me the idea of the spirit of funkadelic, or rather than the actual sound of them. But yeah, it was great vocals, really nice harmonies. All the instruments, particularly the bass, was just a lot of fun. I loved it. It's great.
Yeah. I thought you'd like it, given your sensibilities and how you like what I know about this genre or genres adjacent to it, and how you like some of the stuff that comes out of that genre. I thought, oh, this is probably going to tickle John's fancy. And something that I thought was funny that was actually in the comments field for this song is one was this sounds like the color purple, and not like the film or the book, but like the literal color purple. Like when you hear that fat bass line come in. Go ahead.
There could be a reason behind that. I doubt it, but there used to be a place called the Purple Lounge in London, and it was the only 7-day-week funk club in all of Europe. And
There
I
you
went
go.
in there, and the average white band were the house band for a brief time, I think. They were there playing there when I was there. And the fucking carpet was about that thick.
Yeah.
Like you walked on it, and it was such a cool place. It really was. Yeah, but Purple Lounge was cool.
Yeah,
So
well,
I'm
maybe,
digging the purple reference.
yeah.
Perhaps it was accidental, but they nailed it anyway.
So purple is funk and royalty, I think, is what it connotes.
Yes.
And then the other another funny comment said, "This bass line sounds like the theme song for when a cartoon germ enters a room." So like this little cartoon germ that's illustrated kind of like tumbles into the room. Yes, exactly. Oh God, but yeah, made me laugh. And yes, the bass line is super funky and fun. Just interesting rhythms to it. So yeah, I love this song. Um, Stephen Lee Bruner, born October 19th, 1984, better known by his stage name Thundercat, is an American musician, singer, record producer, and songwriter from Los Angeles. First coming to prominence as a member of crossover thrash band Suicidal Tendencies, he has since released four.
Really?
Yeah. Are you familiar with
Yeah.
Suicidal Tendencies?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
I've heard them.
Yeah, all right.
I won't say that they're my go-to band, but
Yeah, no, I would imagine. I would imagine. Not necessarily mine either, but it's interesting that this guy was the bass player for Suicidal Tendencies and is now doing
Wow.
his transition to this
Yes.
stuff. But yes, he's since released 4 solo albums and is noted for his work with producer Flying Lotus and his appearances on Kendrick Lamar's 2015 album To Pimp a Butterfly. In 2016, Thundercat won a Grammy for Best Rap / Song Performance for his work on the track These Walls from the aforementioned To Pimp a Butterfly. In 2020, Thundercat released his 4th studio album, It Is What It Is, which earned a Grammy Award for Best Progressive R&B Album. Raised in Compton and other parts of LA, Bruner was born into a family of musicians, including his father, Ronald Bruner Sr., a drummer, and his mother, Pam, a flautist and percussionist. His father played drums for the Temptations, the Supremes, and Gladys Knight, among others.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? That's really a who's
Royalty.
who. And Bruner Sr. got sober from cocaine, and the children would come watch him play gigs at the Crenshaw Christian Center after he cleaned up his act. And Bruner attended Locke High School, playing in the school's jazz band. His teacher, Reggie Andrews, produced and co-wrote the Dazz Band's 1982 single Let It Whip and collaborated with Rick James. So this guy was just surrounded by people who came from the industry or had experience in the industry. Andrews reintroduced Bruner to Kamasi Washington, and the two originally met as children, though their father's membership in a through their father's membership in a gospel fusion band. The reunited duo would sneak into jazz concerts, driving around in worn down 1982 Ford Mustang to do so. They would later go on to play the same venues as the same performers that they used to go off in their youth and watch. Bruner began playing the bass at an early age, listening to bass players such as Stanley Clarke and Marcus Miller for inspiration. By the age of 15, he had a minor hit in Germany as a member of the boy band No Curfew. A year later, he joined his brother Ronald Jr. as a member of the Los Angeles crossover thrash band Suicidal Tendencies, replacing former bass player Josh Paul. Bruner's earliest studio album appearances included playing electric bass on Kamasi Washington's Live at Fifth Street Dix, and The Proclamation. Erykah Badu was credited with helping Bruner find his stage presence and identifying as Thundercat. Around this time, Bruner would play in live bands for Raphael Saadiq and Snoop Dogg, and both would make quips about his playing style. Bruner credited Flying Lotus with pushing him to start singing and making his own projects. In 2020, Rolling Stone ranked him as one of the greatest bass players of all time. Drunk, the album on which this tune features, is Thundercat's 3rd studio album, released on February 24th, 2017. It features guest appearances from Kenny Loggins, Michael McDonald, Kendrick Lamar, Wiz Khalifa, Mac Miller, and Pharrell. It was released. That's quite a list of musicians. It was released nearly 4 years after his previous studio album Apocalypse. The 23 track Drunk incorporates a range of stylistic influences, including funk, hip hop, jazz, pop, psychedelia, punk rock, R&B, soft rock, and soul. Multiple reviewers noted jazz fusion influences in the album, and the Independent's Andy Gill wrote of the album, saying that it switches abruptly between cool jazz, prog fusion, and sleek soul. The album cover designer, Adam Stover, drew inspiration from vintage jazz and funk records in designing the album's front and back covers and layout. Inspiration was drawn from the soundtrack to the 1974 film Death Wish, composed by Herbie Hancock, as Thundercat wanted Drunk's visual design to be stylistically similar to that of the Hancock record. In June of 2017, Thundercat appeared on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon to promote his studio album Drunk with Michael McDonald and Kenny Loggins. Them Changes contains a drum sample from the 1977 Isley Brothers track Footsteps in the Dark. The same sample. Go ahead.
Ice Cube.
Yes, the same
Ice
sample
Cube.
that's used in Ice Cube's 1993 hit.
It was a good day.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I did know it. know it.
Yeah. So Drunk received general praise from music critics. On the review aggregator website Metacritic, the album received an aggregated score of 80 based on 26 different reviews, indicating generally favorable reviews. Aggregator Any Decent Music gave it a 7.9 out of 10 based on their assessment of the critical consensus. In a strongly positive review for Exclaim, Daniel Sylvester praised Thundercat's groove and ability to seemingly shift from song to song while changing a few things, but keeping the groove going well. The Guardian, the Irish Times, Q, NME, and The Observer all scored the album a 4 out of 5, and Pitchfork scored it an 8.5 out of 10. That's right. Writing for The Guardian in their review of the album, Kate Hutchison said this of the album: "The result is restless, like flipping through a graphic novel. Friend Zone is a gorgeous pearl of a groove with hints of underwater funk, not unlike Unknown Mortal Orchestra's Lamar's track, Walk On By. Walk On By sounds like the somber result of knocking back a vial of something lurid. The soft rock touches, meanwhile, are a masterstroke. Them Changes pairs elastic, syrupy bass with a perky falsetto featheriness inspired by Kenny Loggins and the Doobie Brothers. And Thundercat brings the former together with the latter's Michael McDonald on Let Me Show You, drawing a firm line between their 70s LA sound and his own scene's latter-day efforts. We young Black Hollywood reps Khalifa on Drink Dat, and this is its cinematic stoner soundtrack. Exclaim named it number 3 on its top 10 soul and R&B albums of 2017. The Guardian ranked it the 8th best album of 2017. Rough Trade ranked it the 9th best album of the year, while BBC Radio 6 Music named it the best album of 2017. So let's jump into these lyrics. Nobody move, there's blood on the floor, and I can't find my heart. Where did it go? Did I leave it in the cold? So please give it back, 'cause it's not yours to take. It must have fell when I lost my mind, deep in the cut, drowning it in pain. Somebody help, 'cause I can't find my way. Nobody move, nobody move. And those oohs during the interlude. Somebody tell me how I'm supposed to feel when I'm sitting here knowing this ain't real. Why in the world would I give my heart to you just to watch you throw it in the trash? I've been traveling so long, I don't think I can hold on. Ooh. Where were you when I needed you the most? Now I'm sitting here with a black hole in my chest, a heartless, broken mess. More oohs, a few lahs, and some more oohs. So yeah, the song opens with a sample of the beat from the Isley Brothers' Footsteps in the Dark and quickly adds to it a bass line, both working together to make the song immediately mesmerizing. The upbeat R&B groove, coupled with the song's descriptive and melancholic, melodramatic lyrics, make it hard to leave the story, or in this case, the scene of the crime. These lyrics, sung against the playful bass line, help to bring gravity and weight to Them Changes. While the intro is fun, the story being painted through the lyrics is one of heartbreak, which to Thundercat is as heinous as crime. Thundercat is personifying his heart here, making it the subject of the song's opening verse. We've entered a crime scene, and though there's blood all around, this mess isn't the forefront of the story. Instead, it's imagery grounding us in this place, and we need to focus on finding his heart. This leads us to Thundercat's ultimate question: why in the world would I give my heart to you? This is a feeling many have come to know, but Thundercat has created this narrative in a whole new light. This detailed imagery leads listeners to see that, much like the crime scene described in the song, Thundercat is himself a heartless, broken mess. But yeah, I think you're right. There is like sort of after that very natural sounding, light, pretty bit in between the funny, goofy sounding bass. I think that does connote this moment of clarity, because he follows it up with like, what the hell have I been doing? Like, where to get my head out of my ass? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought that was really astute of you to pick up on that, and how the music is meant to connote this this revelation or moment of clarity. So, but yeah, man, this is such a, oh god, the fucking bass in this song, man, is so good. And just he himself is an amazing bass player. I'd like to bring some more stuff that he's done to the channel, but I would also suggest, like, if you like, obviously you like some of the artists that you've listed that are comps, and you enjoyed this, I think that you would really enjoy listening to this artist and some of his music out there. It's pretty badass. It's definitely one of those new neo soul guys that's just killing it. So I'm really glad.
Excellent.
Cool.
Yeah, really
Cool.
Interesting, I thought.
Yeah, I
Challenging
thought
as well.
yes, you're absolutely right.
And humorous.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's all those things. It is. Oh, okay. So, folks,
The three things I look for in a pet dog. But yeah.
Yeah, a dog and a good tune. Yeah, they share those things in common, I suppose. Guys out there in the listening audience, let us know what you made of Them Changes by Thundercat. If you enjoyed this track, if there's other stuff by him that we should check out on the channel, please let us know. We'll add it to the list. Or if there's any other comps that you experienced listening to this that you want to, draw attention to, please drop it down in the comments field. We really do appreciate it. Also, like, share, and or subscribe if you haven't done so yet. It really helps us bolster the channel, bring more ears and voices to the channel, which we really, really do appreciate. And hopefully, John and I will see all y'all in growing numbers on the next installment of the Audiophiles. We'll see you later, guys.